Hello everyone, it's Red with RedDragonLeo.com. It is Sunday about 6 o'clock. And let's see, it's 6:10. I wonder where the futures are. It's taking me all day to write this post. Oh, okay, up 2 points. Whoop-dee, right? That's basically nowhere. Lots of things to go over here. I have posted several different charts throughout Friday and Thursday of last week of what I thought possible. Intraday, I would just sketch a chart for you guys and post it up there for you. And everything right now is telling me that we are still on track for a huge crash starting the week of October the 23rd, the ending date of the Legatus pilgrimage. So that tells me I think we're going to go up in an ABC wave into that day, and possibly Monday we could go up and rally some, maybe Monday, Tuesday, then maybe back down for a B wave and then back up. But we're going to get into the technicals later. Let's first, I want to go over some things that have been going on here in the I guess the alternative media you'd call it, or the behind the scenes stuff that the mainstream media won't talk about. And that is everything that is out there and available, that's put together all these pieces for me to help me see that there is no way possible that I can imagine that we are going to bottom out in the next 2 weeks in the stock market and put in a low of around 1,000 or a little below, maybe 965, 985, whatever, and then rally up for 2, 3, 4 months into next year. I just can't see that happening. The good guys, the aliens, and even the bad guys, they all know that this economy must collapse. This is some comments from David Wilcock, and he goes over, and his comments here were from the post that was earlier made by Ben Fulford, and his post about the 2 underground bases that basically were being destroyed by the good guys inside the Pentagon, the White Dragon Society inside the Pentagon, the military authorities. David has continued to update these, and has, he's putting these updates on this same post. I posted this link on the last blog post, but of course you can just go to divinecosmos.com and you can see the link right here, but it's on the previous blog post as well. But he has since then putting updates as to what's going on. He stated here that besides the 2 underground bases that were destroyed, that the actual nuclear missiles or nuclear bombs that went off that we thought killed these people, 30,000 people in each one of these underground cities, that the elite gangsters were going to go hide in while they destroyed the world with nuclear bombs, with World War III and genocide, mass genocide of us, as sheep, leaving less than 10% of the population to be their slaves. It's not going to happen. We went down a different timeline. It's not going to happen, and that's quite evident. Anyway, he stated that they somehow were able to remove people from this. He says here, I know it sounds ridiculous, but in this situation apparently no one has died from these incidents. Audio recordings reveal the sounds of furniture sliding all over the place as the people yelling for up to 24 hours before it stops. So somehow this nuclear weapon that's went missing, they may or may not have even used it. They may have used some secret alien technology that increased the sound pressure or air pressure level in there 20-fold, which is what actually destroyed the base. And that was what was posted in on this post. And if you hadn't had a chance to go back and look at the other blogs or the other post previously, and you can read it. But basically, they have taken down 6 more bases at least. So now they've taken down a total of 8 of these bases. Yes, here it is. 8 more additional bases, or 8 bases total now, have all been mysteriously removed. All the personnel and materials have been removed. It happened last week. In this case, the rooms are still there, but they are now empty, except for some broken pieces of furniture. This is some crazy stuff. How they can do this technology, whatever technology they're using to do this, I don't know. But here it is. He says 20-fold spontaneous increase in air pressure. This is really some great news that that these people that are there, that basically are working for the gangsters, for the Illuminati, reptilian, shapeshifters, thugs, whatever they are, don't really care. We're talking about George Daddy Bush, George Jr., Bill Clinton, Warren Buffett, George Soros, Henry Kissinger, of course David Rockefeller, Jay Rockefeller, all these gangsters, these thugs, these murderers, these rapists, these satanists, these cannibalists. Yes, they're cannibals because they sacrifice and eat people. So they're sick. That's where the term vampire came from. So anyway, they're all running. They're scared. They're packing up, and David talks about them packing up and going to South America. And at the very end, he says, "Whoops, I wasn't clear in stating that the old guard are using military aircraft to move the last of their belongings, even including most of their clothing. At this point, they are not actually moving yet, but plan on doing so once the critical moment is reached. It will be a coordinated effort for them fleeing and the bridges, airstrips setting off." And what he's talking about here is that they have planted charges, explosives, on various bridges throughout the United States that they plan on blowing up and killing, thousands or hundreds of thousands of people. I don't know how big the bombs are, but they plan on doing this to create some type of false flag event, and probably blame it on some third world dictator. But they're going to run their little chicken shit asses, sorry for the foul language, they're going to run to South America, think that they can hide while all this is going on. And of course this will be coordinated to crash the stock market. Well, I don't think they're going to succeed in getting these bridge charges off. I think that most of them will be found. I hope that all of them are found. So I don't think they're going to get those off. But if they do, that will be our false flag event. So let's hope that, it doesn't happen. There's also the issue that there were 2 of the nuclear bombs that were supposedly used in the explosion to take out those 2 cities that we thought originally had killed 30,000 people in each city, or underground bases, a total of 60,000 people. And now we discovered that they were not killed and that the nuclear bombs were not actually used. So there's no radioactivity, so nuclear bombs were not used. But those nuclear bombs were recovered and taken by the good guys inside the Pentagon, the admirals and generals, the white hats that have joined the White Dragon Society and want to stop this from killing everyone. So they have those bombs. Now, it is being said, according to Ben Fulford, that there was a total of 4 nuclear bombs taken from a Russian, if I can find it here, it's here. It was from a Russian submarine. They took a total of 4 of these, and 1 was used to attack Japan, as we know, and the other 2 were planned on using them to blow up Washington D.C. and New York, but they were recovered, taken. Here they were right here, nuclear bombs in Washington D.C. So instead, these bombs were taken by the Patriotic Forces, which again is the White Dragon Society. And these are members of the 57 countries, and I guess now it's up to 87 countries. So it's not a typo area. I'd said before, previously, at one point it's 57 countries. Now it's 87, at least 80 different countries. So They have these nuclear bombs now. They have 3 out of 4 of them. There's 1 left, so there's still a possibility that these gangsters will try to set that off. But a lot of them are now defecting and trying to defecting from the old cabal, the evil cabal, basically trying to get out of it and trying to ask for protection and to the White Dragon Society. And you even see old reptilian snakehead himself, George Bush Sr., has contacted the White Dragon Society and offered all the money in the world in exchange for him being left alone. Sorry, but all the money in the world will not get you out of prison there, buddy. You're going to jail. No question in my mind that we are going to some incredible times. You definitely got to read this entire story here on the blog. I've got them both posted up here for you, and basically I totally believe that we are going into some end times with the Mayan calendar ending, and the end times are not for us, but they are for the Illuminati gangsters that have been ruling us. We can look here at this nice little chart here showing that Monday we start off on the 7th day of the last level, the 9th level on that Mayan calendar. So well, actually we start October the 11th and it ends October the 28th. So this is some very important things. This clearly states to me that there's no way we're going to be in a rally during this time period. There's too much going on. The good guys here are talking about a financial shutdown in the market during the or November 11th of 2011. That's 11/11/11. The bad guys have still put out are going to be putting out movies here right after, well, that week of the Legatus pilgrimage. They're going to be putting out this movie called Margin Call on October the 21st. That's when that movie starts. At the same time, you know, you have the Legatus pilgrimage here, which come on, I don't like this little click to share thing right here. You got the Legatus pilgrimage here that it is ending on the 23rd in Rome. Now England, you've got the Queen Snakehead herself, Queen Reptilian, Queen Elizabeth herself, there for this one. So maybe they're all gathering together there with Tony Blair and the other reptiles to try to figure out what they're going to do. I don't know. Besides Tony Blair, of course, you got Prince Charles. You got all the royal family except for Princess Diana, who was, of course, murdered in a satanic ritual that they murdered her and took her soul, supposedly. And then after that, they're going to go on to Rome, where the Vatican Bank is, so that they can funnel all their money through there. Now, Reinhardt and Enterprise Corruption was the one who figured this out, that they were using this meeting, this Legatus pilgrimage, who was created by the founder of Domino's Pizza back in I don't know, the 50s or something. So he's the founder of this Legatus fake Catholic satanic organization. So everything still points to this time period as, you know, being the start of it. And hang on one second here. Okay, so I don't know how high it's going to go. You know, you don't know about those longer term fake prints. They haven't been exactly too accurate, I guess, other than in the past. I know they were definitely accurate in the past, and I can go back and look at some of them in the past. And if we go to my well, I really wasn't going to go to this, but we could, I guess. Well, we'll get to it in a second. Anyway, there is an estimated $250 trillion in derivatives that's out there. There's no way possible that this can be paid back. There's no way that I can see anything. Everything I have looked at tells me that they are going to crash this market. There's just no other way around it. There is even aliens that are supposed to be some of our good aliens that have, of course, been communicating through various people here on the planet, and through, I guess, telepathy, and telling the people that, hey, it must collapse. The market must collapse. The economy must collapse in order for it to reboot it, restart it. Everything has to restart, and so it's got to collapse to wipe out this $250 trillion in debt. Salusi is one of these aliens from a place called Cyrus. I guess if you thought about this 10 years ago, if you had mentioned this kind of stuff, people think you're crazy. But you could go on YouTube anywhere right now and just type in UFO sightings or whatever keywords you want to do with UFOs, new UFO sightings. They're being seen all over the world. And Salusa is reportedly stated here that this is being done intentionally to let us know that they are here to help us, and that they are peaceful, that they're here to help us, and it's about, they're talking about ascension and basically getting out of this prison that we're in, that the cabal has been controlling. I did put this link here on the blog for you to go to on my blog, so when you get here you can find it, but it clearly states that the system has to collapse. They don't want it to hurt us. It's just it has to collapse. And I'm not going to go and read this entire thing, but it's right here. It's right here. So, and this is just not one of the aliens. There are others on her site as well, or his site. I'm sorry. That site. There's I believe there's one named Michael, another alien named Michael, and I can't remember all of the aliens. And when I say they're aliens, they're obviously communicating to somebody else who's actually writing the post. Okay, it's not the alien writing the post, but they're communicating with telepathy. So we got aliens telling us that this has got to collapse. We got the good guys telling us that this thing has got to collapse, and we got the bad guys trying to leave the country, use the military planes, as David has talked about. So it'll be interesting to see the exact time that they leave, because you'll know that it is close when they have taken their military, I guess big planes that they use to transport tanks and stuff, that they are all going to get on. It says there's been a use of so many military in the last 3.5 weeks that it has actually delayed the returning soldiers from Afghanistan. So these crazy people are planning on leaving the country and going and hiding in South America. I guess the good guys inside the Pentagon have been blowing up all the underground bases here in the United States, but I guess they haven't got to the ones in South America. So these fools think they can go hide down there and then kill the rest of the world. It's not going to happen, folks, because there's a lot of good aliens out there that have been working with the white hats inside the Pentagon, and they are going to stop this. Now, with that said, that does not mean that they still do not control the stock market. They do. They control the stock market. There's no doubt in my mind they control it. But they are doing everything they can to hold it up right now for as long as they can. So that's why I'm not sure if this fake print that I posted previously of 127.07 is actually going to be hit by, maybe not by OPEX of the 21st, but maybe by the following Monday, the 24th or the 25th, because we also have the new moon on the 26th. So we just know that a top should be put in by that date. Somewhere that Monday or Tuesday, a top should be put in, just like the last Legatus pilgrimage, which was April the 30th through May the 2nd. And when was the top? It was on May the 2nd. Okay, so it opened up Monday, it gapped open, and then fell off and sold off ever since then. And you can see that in the charts. So let's see, what else did I want to cover here on here? Okay, I think I've pretty much covered everything here. I'm just going to let you read this. The link to it here, of course, is if you're watching this just on YouTube, just look below and you'll see the link to this to this actual blog post so that you can read all these comments by David as well as by Benjamin Fulford, and how this all ties in with everything, that you put all the pieces together again, and you see that there's tons of evidence out there supporting that this market is going to collapse over the next month or two, all the way in probably to at least 11/11. If they're talking about doing a financial reboot of the system on 11/11, then then that could be a bottom. For all I know, that'll be the 34.65 fake print, and maybe maybe that's it. Maybe that's the bottom. I don't know. So I don't think that it's gonna collapse that big, but we don't know. We just don't know. These are some rare times we're in. So yeah, you can look at this and do all the charting you want, but do understand that there's never been a time like this in the history of mankind. That Mayan calendar has been out there 16.7 million years. It's basically, it's what it's dating back to, all those different levels that you're seeing. So if we went and looked at that, let's see here, the Mayan calendar here, if I can find it here. Oops, I already had that one there. Okay, let's see here. Boom, boom, boom. Some of my pictures here. Boom, 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 boom. Let's see if I can just type it in. M-A-Y. Okay, Mayan pyramid. There it is. Gotta do it quickly. And just want you to relook at this, folks. How important this really is. We're in the seventh. We're in the ninth level in the seventh day. This is where we're at. Right here it says it starts March the 8th of 2011. Okay, and then you have where we're at today is. Let's look at this, so you truly understand where we are at. See if I can't zoom in on this here a little bit for you. Of each one of these levels, as you can see, up here on the very top level, maybe I should kind of zoom this one out here a little for you, just so that you understand where we are at. On this ninth level, it starts here, and it has 7 days in it. So we're on the ninth level of the seventh day that started back 16.4 billion years ago. That's how important this is. So do you really think that everything is just going to be normal? I can't imagine that everything is going to be normal and that we are going to go down here, make a little bit lower low, maybe 1,000 level, and then rally up into some wave 2. I can't get my head around that idea that that's going to happen. So from a technical point of view, I don't see no big head and shoulders here that's going to happen, with this being the left shoulder, this being the head, and us making a nice little right shoulder up here and then just rolling over and falling down. These times are never been had before in the history of mankind. Do you really think that that this time around it's just going to be normal like it was in the past? Like here, a left shoulder, I guess a head, well, there's a left shoulder, a head, a right shoulder, then a collapse, back up, then a collapse. I don't think that that's what's going to happen. I think we're just going to fall off a cliff here. I don't know how far, I really don't, but I do think that it's going to be disastrous. And you look at this monthly chart, I think that this is where we're headed, right here, and big long months down like this. This very month, I think it's going to fall right off a cliff. You look at this, and this is a larger MA pattern. Just in case you haven't, figured that out, I go to this my new little thing right here that I have. It's still this thing called a pen writer, but I've showed you this several times. This is an MA pattern right here, folks. MA. Of course, here's your A. You know, it's just like this. M, oops, sorry, A, so that didn't belong there. Zzz. Okay, so you get the idea here, folks. This is, I mean, I don't see it, you know, I just don't see us bouncing and going up for this wave 2 into next year and then coming down. I don't see that happening. I think this is just going to continue down here. Sure, maybe in the end it'll do one of these numbers, but you can clearly see we're heading down. I think we're going to head down here, continue down before we do all this, and this is just going to be one huge low, and then the system will hopefully, if all goes well, will be will basically be reset, as the good guys say, and they'll come in with their money, and the 2.5 trillion will be wiped out of the system, and or 2.5, I said 250 trillion, I should say, sorry, and we'll restart anew, and the bad guys will lose. If the bad guys win this, then they're going to hold this market up, and you know, that's all they've been doing this entire time. Basically, according to that article, we should have collapsed back here in 2008 is when it should have collapsed, but they started the printing press and printed massive amounts of money to drag this thing out to today. That they, you know, obviously they profited from this collapse, but they're holding it up. It's what they're doing up until the last minute, because if they totally collapse it and lose total control of it, then I guess they fear that they won't be able to control the military as well, which you're already losing control of, and that because of that they will lose power altogether. So I guess part of it is a controlled crash, and if it just falls apart on them, then they could lose total control of the stock market altogether. And I think that's what's going to happen. I think they're going to lose total control of it. So if we go over here to a daily chart, we can look at this as well, and we can see we had a nice MA pattern there as well. And I'm going to see if I can't change the color on this. This is kind of a, okay, let's go to black here, and let's go to okay, here was your MA pattern, as you can see. Here is your M, here was your A, and boom, we fulfilled it. Now you know, draw your line there. Remember what I said, the A was about the same distance here as the side of the M. That's just a estimate there. Well, you know, I guess it'd go from here to here. Sorry, as either one of these sides, which they're pretty close. They're pretty close. So we've completed that A. So now where are we? The daily chart looks like it wants to come back up, but it's not very strong right now. You know, technically we could say it'll roll right back over and go right back on down. There's nothing to say that, and in that case you'd put in a higher low, which would support that wave 2 up. That in that case, if it rolled down like that, then you would expect this to come on down here, break that level, and then we go up for a big wave 2 into next year that's going to last 2 to 3 months. Do you really believe that? You know, technically, yeah, you can argue for that, but I don't believe it. I don't think that's what's going to happen. I don't think we're going to roll back over down here like this and come on back down. Yes, we hit this line right here, but I think we're going to bust on through it and going up into October first, bringing this on up higher, and then collapse. Well, when I say into October, I mean October 23rd again. I'm still speaking of that week. To that week, so you know, to about the 26th is when it's going to start. That's when I'd estimate. Then collapse from a higher level. So get this up here a little higher, then let it collapse, and then obviously this would go down in a B wave. It would be more of an A, a B, and a C wave up. To how high, I don't know. Maybe it only goes to here. Maybe it goes on up here and fools the masses and gets up to here. I don't think so, but anything is possible. Let's erase that, and we'll go back here to out of memory on the pen thing. Okay, great. That figures. That pen thing's driving me nuts anyway. I got too much going on here. See, I've only got 12 gigs on this computer, and I'm already hitting 12 on it. So let me shut down this pen thing here real quick for you. It uses a lot of resources just to be able to do that, but we'll reopen it here and try it again, because I know it can work. Let's see, tablets, pin noticer. That's what that was. And is it here? Are you here, buddy? Where you at? Pin noticer? Nope. Okay, well, let's try the, oh, there it is down here. I'm sorry. It moved it back down to the bottom here, which I really don't like it at the bottom. I really like it better at the top. And it just does that. But anyway. Okay, so select this again and go here to write. And let's see if it'll let me write this time. Okay, so what I really think is going to happen is that we're going to continue up here. And I need a little bit darker here. So let's see if this works a little better. Okay, and I'd like to have a different color. Let's go to black. Okay, and it's not very black, is it? But anyway, you get the idea. And so that's just what I really think is going to happen is we're going to do this and do one of these numbers and then collapse and then get up here a little higher. Like I said, I don't know how high, but somewhere around this date. And I keep saying this. So to the 26th. And this is again because of the Legatus pilgrimage. So we completed an MA. I think we've also completed all of our waves down. I think this was a 1, 2, 3, which is an ABC move up. And then we could have possibly had a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves down inside this final 5th wave. This here being our final 5th wave. Again, Elliott wave is just speculation, folks. I really, you just don't know with it. But if that's the case, then I think we're going to go up here in this wave here in an A, a B, and a C wave up. Is what, and I don't know how high. You know, I said we've got this 127.07 fake print on the SPY, which is again about 1270 right there. But that does not mean it's going to go that high. They might not have enough power to do that. If it did, it'd be nice with this nice little channel line that we've had, that we've broken. If it go right back up there, and it'd probably come right down here and hit this nice little 200 period moving average. Maybe it'll do that. Maybe it'll come down a little lower. It might be in 1260 range. You know, we're just guessing right there. But again, that's just speculation. So on that chart, and you know, let's look at the 60-minute chart right here. We can kind of get an idea on this. So on the 60-minute chart, what I was thinking was that I don't want brush, I want pencil, and I want a little bit bigger. That's probably why I'm having trouble with it. On the short term for Monday, here's a possibility. We could come down here. Oops, well, that's not very good. It's way too big. We could come down here. I'll tell you what, let's erase this. Boom. Ooh, this is a nice little eraser. Okay, cool. Okay, on the 60-minute chart, here's the scenario that we could do. We could come down and curl right back up like this, and then go right back up into Tuesday and make one of these. In this case, we might chop down here a little bit, maybe. I don't know if it's going to go that deep or not. And then come back up here, bust on through here, and go on up to here. This is a possibility. Then this would be a head. This would be the left shoulder. Then this would be the right shoulder of an inverse head and shoulders that you see right here. You see that? In that case, a bust out would easily put us up there at that 1270 level. Could that be done? Possible. You can see here that it looks like it's wanting to curl back up and maybe do one of those numbers. Here it looks like it wants to curl back up, as you can see, but that really doesn't mean nothing. You could easily just as well go back down. That is possible as well. So, you know, when we look at the other chart here on the 30-minute chart, you can see here with the 30-minute chart that it was trying to curl back up. So, you know, is it going to? Or is it going to continue down here a little bit and then maybe curl back up after that 60 does its thing, and then it comes up? So that's a possibility there, is that we dip down a little bit more and then we curl back up. So that would be down here and then curl back up. That would match up with the 60. And in that case, we'd come down here maybe to somewhere in this area and then back up. That's a possibility. Now, right now, looking at the market, we're actually up a couple of points, but that doesn't really mean anything come Monday morning. We really don't know what's going to happen there Monday morning. So, and of course, you'd see the same thing right here. Here's your head, here's your left shoulder, and over here is your right shoulder if it develops there. And again, it'd be a marked move up. So, that would support the 60-minute chart. And the other scenario, of course, is that we go down. The bearish scenario is that that this is a wave 3 inside a 5th wave. And I just can't seem to count this to make it out right to where it really works out that way. It would obviously have to start here with this starting the 5th wave down. And as Ron Walker's pointed out and speculated as well, he knows as well as I do that these Elliott wave counts are just all speculation anyway, until you can, they work out after the fact, but they can be manipulated any way you look at it. But that again, he's got it as wave 1 down 2, then 3, I guess, then 4, then, or no, I'm sorry, that's not right. 2, then this is the first smaller subwave. Let's put it as S1 for a smaller subwave, and then maybe S2 for your smaller subwave up, all inside of a wave 3 down. So here you'd have your smaller subwave 3 down, as well as just your regular 3 wave down here as well. Maybe you bounce here on this, go back up for the smaller S4 wave, and then back down for the final smaller 5th wave. And again, all of this from here to here would complete, actually, I'm sorry, on up to here, would complete this final 5th wave down. And if that's the case, then yes, we're going to bottom somewhere around that October 21st, that Friday, that OPEX Friday, option expiration Friday. So, and then the Legatus pilgrimage date would be a turn date, and we just run up right here in a major wave 2. Sorry, my writing's sloppy. Major wave 2. You get the idea, right? So if that's the case, that's going to put us down there, you know, below 1,000. You know, so he's got, I think Ron had a high target of somewhere around 1013, a low target of 1085. My target was 1060 or 965, but that could change depending upon what happens. I ain't seen any new fake prints. Well, other than the old fake print I've had for last year, but which, by the way, was 885 from last year, which was also equivalent to the 8300 Dow print. Now, if it goes and collapses more like what I'm thinking, meaning we go up into the Legatus pilgrimage and we only come down, let's change colors here so you can see the idea here what I'm thinking. If we actually come down here for a B wave, then back up, and we do this inverted head and shoulders as I'm suspecting, then we go on up here to some level. Then if we collapse down, now how's that for a major wave 3 down instead of this 2 wave? And somehow you can go back maybe and figure out how to count this sideways crap as a major wave 2. I don't know, so that it works out based upon the monthly time that it takes from, you know, this starting back here on May the 2nd. You know, you have to time it down for major wave 1 down, major, you know, 1 down, time out how many weeks it took to do that, and then major 2 up. You know, you time out how many weeks it would take to do that. Then you'd have to speculate on where it actually ended. I don't know. It's so subjective with Elliott wave, but it basically you'd figure it out that we had actually had a 1 down, some type of sideways 2, and then we'd be a big 3 wave down. Well, it's a lot of garbage on there, ain't it? But you get the idea, and we'll clear it all. So if we looked at it over here on the daily, somehow we would figure out again that that, you know, maybe this did end right here. Maybe this was the 5th wave down. I don't know. You know, and this was some type of major wave 1, M1. Oops. M1 down. And then maybe all this sideways chop is M2, major wave 2. You know, or this, for all I know, this could have been the 5th wave. It doesn't look that way, but I don't know. You know, so all I know is that Elliott wave is so subjective. It's just very, very difficult to do it until after the fact. You go back and look at it, then you start counting these waves, and even all the Elliotticians argue among each other. So all I know and all I believe is that we are going to start major wave 3 down on that week of October the 23rd, starting that Sunday. The following, you know, week, the following days it open, we're going to start it down. And you know, I don't know if we're going to be up at a high here around that, you know, 1270 level. I don't know. Or if we're going to chop down a little bit, and get ready, and maybe we'll be in a 3 of a 3 of a 3 by then. That's a possibility. If not, then if we actually top out, then we will obviously start in the first wave down, first minor wave down inside of that major wave 3 on that date. But it won't matter, because this whole daggone thing here is a primary wave 3, a P3. It's the wave we've been waiting on since 2009 666 low, which has broke pretty much every bear I know. It's pretty much just wiped every bear out as they kept calling for P3. I myself was one of them. But it's pretty obvious to me we are now in P3. There's no way you can convince me otherwise, just simply based upon this monthly chart. There's no way you can tell me we're not in P3. I just don't see any way possible of this curling back up. We have got to be in P3, meaning, again, that this first wave down one was primary wave 1, and this manipulated BS wave 2 up with QE2, QE1, QE3, job stimulus package 1, 2, 3, whatever. It's all it was to keep these gangsters afloat. There's no way that we are, you know, here, yes, we went to here, but look where we was. Look where we was. This line was still going up. This one now, they're getting ready to cross. Look at this. Look at these all-important lines. The 200-day moving average, or 200-month moving average, 200 period, I'll just call it, and the 50-period moving average. Look, they've never been closer before. You think they're going to cross it sometime? Yeah. There's no way that you can convince me that we are just going to turn this thing back up and all of a sudden all is well, and we're going to go on back up here and put in new highs, and that we are not in primary wave 3 down. I totally believe this is P3 down. You know, we foolishly should have seen, obviously, that this was a wave A, a B, and a C. A, B, C up. You know, people, we just didn't see that. We didn't want to see that. And so, you know, we ignored this. I know I did. I ignored all this. And, you know, I should have obviously known better, especially with all these QE packages that are out there that keep manipulating the market. But you live and learn, and you're still alive, you're still surviving, and that's the case here with the market. Is, you know, we're still in it. So I don't know, I really don't know about Monday, but there is that possibility that, you know, like I said, there is a possibility. If looking at the charts, we're up $2.75, 2.75 points, I should say, on the ES. Whoop-dee, right? That's basically flat. So we really don't have a clue as to what's going to happen here. You know, looking at this again, I'm just speculating that we are either going to try to start right here and go up here and put one of these in. I would love to see that. Love to see that. I'd love to see this thing gap open or whatever and keep running on up and go up there and hit that. Man, would that be a nice shorting opportunity. If that is the case, then you basically had right here, this first wave up was 1, then down was 2, then here was 3, then here was 4, then here was 5. So you had a 5-wave push. Now, it's not usual that you have that. Usually you have ABC moves on these rallies up, but sometimes you can have them. You know, sometimes you can have those. So if that's the case, then we'll go up here, and then we'll come back down here and put in that move right there for that ABC move. That's possible. Of course, the other scenario is that they somehow managed to just chop this thing sideways all the way up here to 1200, maybe to 1220. Just keep it going all the way into that again for the next 2 weeks for the 23rd to the 26th. You know, and that because the 26th is the new moon, and then this is the Legatus. So somewhere in that time period, you know, it should top out. So, but that doesn't mean that. I still feel like we're going to pull back some to do some type of inverted head and shoulders. But you just never know with these gangsters on what they're going to do, on how they're going to spin this. It is totally possible, like I said, that they could, you know, just dip a little here, chop a little sideways, and run it back up. So I'm basically looking to, you know, short here. I don't really want to go long at all. If they came down here and gave clear signs that it was very weak volume and it did want to turn back up and go long, I'd think about it, but honestly I'd just rather just wait to short it. So I'm really kind of looking for up here to this level to be hit, maybe up to here. Depends on the time and date again. You know, if we push it all the way out to October 23rd, then I'm looking for up here to be hit. But we just have to play that by ear and see. Possibly we have. Here's a thought on what we could have started. Possibly this was, you know, our first wave down. Then somehow we go up here in a second wave and don't clear that, and then we start a big 3 wave, and this might be inside of, or maybe this move here was the major wave 2, M2 with M1 again ending somehow in here, and maybe we've started M3 already. In that case, then this would be your minor or your major wave inside it, major 1, major 2. This is all speculation, and then major 3 inside it. Okay, you get my point. So just take it, you know, one step at a time. I will post updates as I see more stuff in the charts. But right now, there's really not much in clear direction as to what's going to do, because it could easily go down here a little bit and put in one of these smaller trough lows, and then we could have our push up, which is really more like what I'm expecting. Really kind of expected not much on Monday to happen, kind of go down and then probably back up. And maybe by Tuesday or Wednesday it might be shortable. I think, okay guys, I've covered a lot here. A lot of different things. The most important thing that you want to get out of this is to just be patient, wait for the right shorting opportunity. It's coming. The gangsters, as far as I can tell, a total collapse is going to come, and it is going to come, as far as I can tell, somewhere around this Legatus pilgrimage day. Everything tells me they're trying to hold it up till then. So you're welcome to join me at stockmarketbloggers.com and go to the chat room. I'll be there, as well as posting comments here on the blog, as I usually do. So that is it, guys. Good luck. Sorry for these being so long, but it's just so much to go over sometimes. It's mind-blogging. You got tongue-tied, sorry. Okay, I'm going to end with that, and maybe just go have a beer and give me something to eat. See you guys. Good luck, everyone.